for not being involved in my unplanned kid's life because my ex's life and family is a complete self-inflicted nightmare. Whew. I, 31 male, want to start this off by saying I'd love to be involved in my kid's life, but due to the circumstances surrounding my ex and her family, it's been impossible without their problems becoming my problems. This all started 8 years ago when my ex messed up her birth control and got pregnant. I told her immediately I do not want a kid and she should consider bleep, which she agreed to. She then lied to me about planning to get one until it was too late while completely blindsiding me. I was in college, working part-time and living with my parents. She was unemployed and her family was legally homeless, squatting in a deceased relative's house. Her mom worked part-time doing food delivery and her dad was an alcoholic who could barely hold down a job. Before her dad became a useless alcoholic, he used to make a ton of money and they developed a very expensive taste which never went away. So, despite being broke and homeless, they had all these fancy things and pets and hobbies. I wonder where they kept the pets. They also had all these health issues that weren't being addressed. It was insane. I ended up spending a lot of time and money trying to get them. I ended up spending a lot of time and money trying to help them hold their life together because they were completely clueless about anything practical. Any logical person would realize adding a kid to this mix is a horrible idea, but given her track record of terrible decision making, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. I remember her telling me she already wanted more kids shortly after the first one was born, and they were in debt from hospital bills, and I was just like, how are you doing this? Delusional. Funny. But they were in debt from hospital bills? Aren't you in debt for hospital bills also, sir? Oh no, let's keep reading. Fast forward and the kid, family was, got it. Fast forward and the kid is born. My mother goes ballistic trying to control everything. While I'm trying to process what's happening, she's harassing me and my ex non-stop. Telling me this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, telling everyone I know when I was horribly ashamed of what was going on and just being insane. Things eventually exploded and my ex moved away with the kid. We basically mutually parted ways, no child support or custody agreements. I spent years recovering and rebuilding from this, and I am doing pretty good now overall. After some things happened, which I'll explain below, I reconnected with my ex to check in, and things have gotten worse, of course. They're now living in an RV at a campground. They have a bunch of pets, multiple 80-pound dogs, and an RV with 5 people, and stupid bleep aren't really working and are still with her alcoholic abusive dad. It's a horrendous situation, and just trying to meet up was a huge ordeal because of course they live over an hour away and don't have a car. She refused to take the lift I offered to pay for and demanded I pick her up and drop her off same day, 5 hours of driving. Then of course immediately she asked for money and for me to fix a bunch of stuff and all these other demands. There was more I could go on about, but you get the idea. So, as someone who has worked tirelessly to have everything in my life together, I have zero desire to be around this. Also, I know if my mother finds out, she's going to go crazy again. Being around all that already nuked my entire life once, and I don't need it to happen again. Don't get me wrong, I feel terrible for the kid, but I just cannot clean up this mess. The problem is, I've now had 3 girlfriends in a row dump me because I'm not involved in my kid's life. Go figure. I've tried to explain I just cannot be around this disaster in any shape or form and that we mutually parted ways and she never asked for child support, but I'm always the bad guy for not supporting or being involved with them. My most recent ex said I was an awful person for not making sure the kid was having a good life. Good girl. Good girl. I was like, I don't think you understand how that's an impossible task, but there was no reasoning with her. It would be one thing if I had wanted to have kids and then changed my mind and bailed. But I never wanted to have kids and got completely bleeped by her stupid choices. So, AITAH. Of course you are. That's why you got dumped 3 times, sir. 3 times later, you're still not getting it. In fact, 4 times later, you still are not getting it. You are. I'm not saying that she's made the right choices, but what are you doing to contribute to a positive outcome to said child? Sounds like nothing. You are putting your wants and your needs first over someone who didn't ask to be here. And yes, I know that wasn't your choice, but you did make a choice when you decided to have bleeped. That's the risk you take. And as an adult, you should kind of get that by this point. And it seems like you have not, because 3 girlfriends later, they keep dumping you. That is a clue, sir. Just saying.